Yo, we have another video for you, and this time it's about Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder. Discusses launch of the Real Report podcast. Wow, you're gonna wonder to yourself what these guys were doing before they had podcasts, and you start to realize to yourself that they weren't doing much, because you got someone like Cameron and Mace. They have their podcast, Joe and Jada. So, in my mind, I'm thinking about the world of a hip-hop artist. I'm thinking they're in a strip club somewhere, they're at home in their mansion, or they're touring. But it turns out these guys have a lot more time on their hands than I would think. Because all these old school rappers that came out the early 2000s, they all got podcasts now. So clearly, they got more time on their hands than we would think they would have. Because I think the touring is dried up for Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder. Cause 50, he ain't really doing anything music wise. He producing stuff. He doing the Diddy documentary. He doing the Power. Well, not Power anymore, but you know, he used to do that. So you're starting to realize now that all dried up. And then Yayo, he disappeared for years. I don't know what he was up to. Then he pops out after like 10 years and releases a song. I'm like, he didn't disappear. He was doing interviews here and there, but he wasn't doing much. So you got now Yayo. He's doing a podcast now. Like, okay. So we got Cameron Mace, we got Fabulous Mano, we got Joe and Jada. It's like, man, these guys really have time on their hands. To be producing this stuff. I remember during COVID time, I think T.I. had one, Nicki Minaj had one, Lil Wayne had one, and I thought, okay, it's one of those things that you must have. It's like when rappers have gold chains and diamond teeth and stuff like that. It's like, man, you ain't saying nothing, you ain't on a podcast. It's like, really? Yeah, you need a podcast, man. Joe Budden's on there as well, man. He's got his podcast. Like, everybody needs a podcast. If you don't have a podcast, you ain't an old school rapper. Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder had stories to tell, and that goes gross understatement, considering what they've experienced being more than 20 years deep in the game. 20 years deep, man. 10 years of that, this guy been dormant. Just going around and Vlad doing interviews. He ain't been active for the past 7 years. After touring, he may have released something, but I never heard it. I've been checking for Yayo for a long time on his YouTube channel, and I'm sitting down there like, yeah, there's nothing here. I thought he retired. I think this guy retired from rap. And it ain't more than maybe a year and 2 years ago he released a song. I'm like, in the music video, I'm like, whoa, he's alive? You know, this guy alive? Dang. As I said before, yeah, he's not like he completely disappeared. He was always out there doing interviews, but as for music, he just disappeared. Ahead of the show, January 2026 premiere, Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder revealed that The Real Report will be the latest project released by the popular podcast network, The Volume. In the true Murder and Yayo fashion, they explain a specific moment they shared with Fat Joe overseas that served as the show's impetus. I ain't really all about this. It's going to happen. Tony Yayo told XXL in the video below. God will bless you in different ways. He signed with The Volume. They got great production. Shout to Shannon Sharp. Shout to Joe and Jada. Where we were at. Germany was it Turkey? Germany, he doesn't even know where he was. He's like, Germany? Was it Turkey? You all speak the same language. I let Murder tell the story of what happened at breakfast. On cue, Uncle Murder dives straight into the story on how push came to shove. The Real Report was born. Born, you know. Wait. I need to read this because this looked like to me like, hey, these guys got a podcast. Let's copy them. That would like to me, but I could be wrong. Yeah, we was in Germany. We had been just chilling. Okay, you in Germany just chilling, like, smoking your weed, like we're just chilling in Germany. We see Fat Joe. We was like just kicking it, you know. Joe and his lies, right? I don't know if this is a bigger lie than Fat Joe's lies. Joe was like telling us he was actually thinking of starting a podcast with him and Yayo. Honestly, that was the idea Fat Joe actually had. Ye was like, oh, dead ass. And I was surprised, like, yo, that's crazy. Then Joe was talking about how him and Jada would wound up doing it. The JJs, okay. Then me and Yayo was telling Joe we was thinking about doing a podcast as well. He was like, word? Say no more! I'm gonna get you a deal. Real Talk Murder says. As far as when what fans can expect from the Real Report, the MCs say they're set to bring the funny through their potterous brand of banter. They've also hyped about being able to enlist a high-profile cast of celebs from across the internet. Word, thanks to their close relationship with 50. We're not coming in here to step on toes, Yayo says. We just come in here to do our thing and we have fun about it. Especially blah 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 blah. Let's see. When you're around a powerhouse like 50 Cent, it gives you an advantage. You can get big artists because you're in a big place. A powerhouse like 50. Alright, 50 is a big name, but how many enemies does 50 have? He has maybe more enemies than he has friends. But I could be wrong. With the podcast wheels in motion, it's also time of the year when the entire culture actually waits for Uncle Murder's annual wrap up. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna see how this goes because everybody and their mama has a podcast if they're raps. I ain't surprised 50 Cent's grandma has a podcast soon. I hope she ain't dead because that sounds bad. And as I said, in a way, we're gonna look and see how this goes because they can't all be successful. There's just too many of them. And once you come to a point of oversaturation with a podcast, you come to a point where there's just too many, and the average hip hop fan is gonna be like, when Joe and Jada, Fabulous Mano, Mace, Cameron, they don't even know Jojo Buttons. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, you're gonna have their podcast, but one of them's gonna fail. One of them has to fail. It's just the way things are in the world. If everybody's doing the same thing, we can't expect the same results. That's how it is. One person's gonna fall to the wayside and be like, it didn't work out. It might be them, it might be Joe and Jada. Joe and Jada is like the same with Netflix, so even if they weren't doing well, numbers wise on YouTube, they still got that going on. So that's good for them. Mano and Fabulous and those guys over there, let's rap about it. We'll see how that goes, because now that's been driven on, still like sparking up some sort of beef with academics and other people. It could drive them to more relevance in the hip hop world, because they're pretty much the guys that were relevant back in the days, but now people just forgot about them. Everyone talk about the new artists. These guys they're long forgotten from the new age, but now they've gotten some sort of new life into them, new boost with the internet, with YouTube, with these podcasts, and it can give them some more. I don't even know if they're actually making music to that extent anymore, because music was kind of changed a bit, where there's no gatekeepers anymore. Everybody's on the same playing field, where anyone can release anything as long as your fans are there. They'll listen to it and they'll buy it if it's good music. You know, so good luck to them. Hopefully it does well. I ain't no hater. I ain't have nothing against Yayo or anybody, but I'm just saying, like, there's just way too much of these guys popping out of the woodworks with these podcasts, and I was thinking, like, too much of something, too much of anything is not good. You know, right? Burgers, I like a burger once in a while, but having too many burgers, you know. I could watch the Joe Budden's podcast, but if everybody that rapped in the early 2000s had a podcast, I'd be sick and tired of these guys coming out the woodworks with new podcasts, man. Who the hell next? Who next? You know, I'm just wondering, like, who out the old school rap? What, Ice-T? And Ice Cube? The Ice podcast? Man, I'm just making this stuff up. It might even happen. Anyway, yo, like, subscribe, and I'm out.